Welcome to my channel. I am Ingelosi Esia. I'm a messenger here to deliver what God and your ancestors want you to know at this very moment. Today, I feel called to share something very personal and sacred to me. It's personal because I believe everybody's spiritual journey is unique to them. So we all do things differently. And the way that we do things, we do it in the way that makes us feel the closest to the divine. So today, I will be speaking about the different ways that I cleanse my energy. I believe that spiritual cleanses are essential in keeping your energy pure. And when I say pure, I mean keeping your energy the most you as possible, your true essence. We exchange energies every day with many different people, and I think it's important to have a way to restore ourselves back to our own energy. This is not to say that other people's energy is not good, but you need to find a way to maintain oneness with self, because when you're truly in sync with yourself, it allows for spirit to communicate with you easily. You also receive downloads much faster, but most importantly is your interpretation and understanding. You interpret and understand things with clarity. So I'll be discussing the different ways that I like to cleanse my energy. So the first one that I'll be delving into is a salt bath. So when it comes to a salt bath, what I like to do is use sea salt. So what I'll do is I'll take the sea salt and I'll pour it into my hands before I pour it into the bath. And when I have it in my hands, that is the point where I pray over it. I pray and I pasha. To pasha means to speak to the ancestors in my language. And I'll pray or pasha as I have it in my hand. And basically it's basically like the introduction of what I'll be using the bath for. So usually what I like to do is I like to invite God in. I like to invite my ancestors to help assist and guide me as I do the cleanse. And then that's when I pour the salt into the bath. So when I pray, I ask for things that are essential to my spiritual growth, such as peace, healing, discernment, love, protection, forgiveness, higher understanding, etc. And I also speak to the things that I need help with in my everyday life, such as if there's something that I've been struggling with. Let's say I've been struggling to sleep lately, or something is really stressing me out, or maybe I'm even dealing with a little bit of anxiety, or maybe I need some help with my finances or something that's happening at work, or even maybe getting my dream partner. Whatever it is, don't ever be ashamed to ask for what you need and want. Your spiritual team wants you to be happy, because when you're genuinely happy, you naturally vibrate on a higher frequency. And when you vibrate at that level, it makes it harder for spiritual attacks to affect your daily life, and for negative energy to creep in and cause unnecessary blockages in your path. So it allows good energy to flow easier, and also for the bad energy to equally flow out easier as well, right? So the bath should be used as a way to restore your energy back to its essence, because we go through life picking up on many energies that can influence how we view certain things, right? Which in turn can drift us away from how the divine intended us to understand the lessons and the messages that they send to us. So this is why it is important for me to do a salt bath. Even when I start to even when I start to find myself thinking or speaking negatively, I like to do a salt bath, and I sort of wash away that energy and speak life back into myself. Okay, the second one that I'd like to touch on would be sage. Sage helps me to cleanse the space that I'm in, especially when I feel uneasy, anxious, or fearful. My intention behind using sage is to ward off negative energy that is causing me to feel that way. So when I do use sage, I like to go into every single room of the space. And as I'm going through room by room, I like to pray as I'm going. I like to pray and pasha at the same time. And like I said, to pasha is to speak to my ancestors. So when I do this, I like to exert my authority over the space. And as I'm doing that, I want to reinforce my protection that I have from God and my ancestors as I'm warding off this negative energy that's making me feel a type of way that makes me uncomfortable. Because feeling anxious is an uncomfortable feeling. Feeling fearful or scared of especially something that you don't even know, where you just randomly feel this way. So this is what I do in every single room. And as I ward off the negative energy, I start to speak words of affirmation to replace that energy. So if I'm warding off this feeling of anxiety, I call back peace into my life. Peace and the ability to be to be comfortable, not just comfortable. Comfortable is not the word that I'm looking for. To believe. To believe that spirit has my back, and that whatever it is that I'm stressing or anxious about, that it will be sorted out. Because guys, things like anxiety and stress and all of that, it is not good for our bodies. It really isn't. And it can affect how we perceive things. When you're perceiving things from a place of anxiety or a place of fear, you may not be looking at things the way that you ought to. So, what I do thereafter is that I'll open the window to allow the sage to carry the negative energy out and to bring some fresh air back in. So, this has been really helpful for me, especially when I arrive in new spaces. Like if I move into a new space or a space that I'm not used to, because I am very sensitive. So, I need to do this because it helps me it helps me to feel more comfortable and safer in the space. And if I'm not feeling comfortable with something that I'm feeling, when I do this, it makes me feel better. And it also just reinforces that connection that I have with the divine, that I'm not alone, that I don't need to feel fearful or I don't need to be anxious. Okay, then the third one that I'd like to touch on is cleaning. Yeah, cleaning is another way that I like to cleanse my space. There are certain things that I like to do to help clean, not just on a physical level, but on a spiritual level too. So, what I like to do in my space is I like to sweep first. As I sweep, I'm praying, and it's almost as though I'm sweeping away things that I don't want in my life, such as lack of faith, or if there's a bad habit that I'm trying to kick, if there's conflict that I'm not understanding where it's coming from, or just conflict that makes me uncomfortable, I sweep it away, you know? And then, so after I sweep, I like to wipe my floors. So as I'm busy mixing the water with my detergents and all my cleaning products, I also like to do what I usually do with the salt bath, where I take some sea salt, put it in my hand, say a prayer or I pasha, and then I throw the sea salt into the water as well as part of the mixture. And then as I'm busy wiping down my floors, then I speak affirmations into my life. I speak to the things that I actually want. If there's something that I'm working on, I invite it in. I invite positive energy, you know. I think the cleaning for me is especially helpful when, let's say, I've been feeling demotivated for that time. I've been feeling demotivated. I Then I'll do the sweep away the demotivation. Wow. Sweep that away. And then what I'll invite is productivity, proactiveness, inspiration, all those kind of things. So that's what I really like it for. It's for spaces, especially when I feel blocked, also where I feel stagnant and I feel like things are not moving. Because for me, when I clean the space and I do that, it makes me feel like energy easily flows in. That means I'm creating a space where spirit can easily access me as well. Okay, then last but certainly not least is the white candle. This one is my personal favorite. I believe that white candles serve as a catalyst to carry my prayers and messages to God and my ancestors. To be honest, when I use a white candle, I use it very therapeutically. I usually sit down on the floor and I speak to God and my ancestors and tell them everything that I'm feeling at that point in time. All the things that I might be feeling ashamed about, things that maybe I know are wrong, but I might be doing, my deepest my deepest feelings about things that hurt or disturb me. So I speak most honestly to help me purge all those thoughts and feelings out of my mind and out of my heart. Sometimes this can mean me crying as I do it, but I welcome all the emotions because I believe that that's the cleansing of the soul. Whether I cry, whether I scream, whether I laugh or sigh, even whatever feels natural at the time, I allow it because I'm bearing my soul at the time. I believe it's important for me to have a very close relationship with God and my ancestors because, much as they see everything, anyways, I like to intentionally invite them into my world and speak about the happenings of my life. I like to reflect with my spirit team. And this makes me feel really close to them. And it also helps me to break that concept that I always have to be this perfect individual for me to reach out to my divine spiritual team, which is just unrealistic for me personally. I come as myself, the person that I truly am, even when people are not watching. That person. I come as that person. And I really enjoy reflecting on my life as I speak with God, as I speak with my ancestors, my spirit guides too. I like to reflect on things that have happened and sometimes trying to gain understanding, but sometimes just to speak about it so that it exists somewhere else other than in my mind and in my heart. So I guess the white candle is really amazing to emotionally cleanse my emotions. Um, yeah, I never thought of it like that. Only now as I'm saying it, it just clicked. But anyways, that concludes my methods of cleansing. Wow, thank you so much for lending me your ear. I'd really love for you guys to also share any other ways that you cleanse your energy. I really want this channel to be a safe space, a sort of community where we can come together to learn and support each other on our individual spiritual journeys. And, you know, I'm speaking of this as what I like to do. And I really hope that you guys can also share your own personal things that you like to do. But if this can help anybody out there, I would love that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment or even share with your friends. And if you have